Had another rough conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen. Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah, girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Yeah, let 'em in. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Let 'em in. Had another rough conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen. Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah, girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win.
Hi, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Wednesday evening to you. Broadcasting from the B-Level Entertainment Studios. I'm your host, B-Level, and today you are listening to On the Level with B-Level. Now, before I bring my guests on, I've got a couple of bills that I need to pay, so I'm going to go ahead and start paying these bills. Don't forget that this Saturday, September the 27th, it is Get Right with the Court date, all right? Now, I know a couple of our judges that we have been following, Judge Arnold, Judge Connors, are doing this at the courthouse. If you have child support warrants, if you have small traffic tickets and you want to get right with the court, go this Saturday at 9 a.m. They are only seeing a limited amount of people. It's basically a get out of jail free card. All right. Basically, if you have warrants and you want to get them taken care of this Saturday at the courthouse from 9 o'clock until then, make sure you show up at 400 West Markham Street. Judge Connors, Judge Honorable, they and a couple of other judges will be hosting the Get Right with the Court situation on this Saturday. And just when I thought On the Level with B-Level could not get any better, I have outdid myself. This week, I put out the October schedule of people that I'm going to be talking with. I'm going to have our now prosecutor of Pulaski County, Will Jones, is going to be on next week. Then I'm going to have Broadway Joe on the show. I'm going to have Alicia Johnson, who is a stylist, and she's trailblazing, doing her thing. I am going to have Princess Gupton. I guess all of y'all know who Princess is. She has this school that she is teaching people to do anesthesias. I can't pronounce that word, but anesthetics or whatever. I'm going to talk to Princess Gupton. And then last but not least, I am going to have director Andrea Lewis is going to end the month of October. October is going to be an exciting month for On the Level, B-Level, where we talk to extraordinary people doing extraordinary thing. Now, let me go ahead and bring my guest up front. I've had him waiting long enough. Let me bring my guest up front. Here we go. Welcome, Bishop, the favorite Bishop Arnold. How you doing, Bishop?
What's going on, B-Level?
Man, listen, I am so glad to have you on, Bishop. Let me just tell you this. When I knew that you were coming, I wore my best shirt. I put on my good shirt. You know, I normally have a white tee or a black tee. I said, I'm gonna dress up when the bishop is in the house. I'm gonna dress up. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling fantastic, man. Thanks for the opportunity to come on and share.
Well, listen, man, we're going to get into some great conversation. But before we do, let me go ahead and just introduce you guys. For you guys, I know if you've been living on a rock and you don't know who this guy is, I'm getting ready to introduce him, and we're going to have some great conversation, okay? He is from North Little Rock, Arkansas. He has over 40 years of serving as a senior pastor. He spent 2 decades of service at St. Mark Baptist Church. At one time, St. Mark Baptist Church was the largest African-American church in the state of Arkansas. He spent 12 years of service at Grace Temple Church. He is an alum of Philander Smith College and Memphis Theological Seminary School. He is married to his wife, Shanta. He is a bishop that believes in reaching people where they are. He is the visionary pastor at Grace United Little Rock. Please welcome to the podcast, On the Level with B-Level, my pastor and my friend, Bishop Stephen Arnold.
B-Level. What's an introduction? All right, you're making me feel like somebody.
Did I do you good,
right.
Bishop?
You did me right, man. You did me right.
Well, let me tell you, I started this thing over a month ago, trying to talk to extraordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I don't know anybody that fits this schedule, this caliber of extraordinary people who have done some extraordinary things. I do want to welcome and thank you for always being there when I call. You always pick up the phone, and that means a lot to me. So thank you. I want to say that before we start our conversation, thank you for all you've done for me, all you've done for my family. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome.
All right, the first question that I want to ask you, Bishop, is I know I gave you this great introduction, okay? But I want you to tell our listeners, and by the way, if you're just tuning on, I'm talking to Bishop Stephen Arnold. I need you to share my live, share it, and please put share it in the comment, and I will shout you out right away. Somebody is saying, "Hey, y'all!" This young lady, Nicole Coham, is saying, "Hey, Bishop."
Look at here. That's Sister Calhoun.
Calhoun. I said Calhoun.
Yes.
Sister Calhoun is saying, "Hey, Bishop."
What's going on, girl?
First question I have for you is, Bishop, who is Bishop Stephen Arnold?
Well, I was torn today. Just got in from Kentucky. I started to wear my shirt, just a boy from North Little Rock. I am so proud to be a native of North Little Rock, Arkansas, and just a boy from North Little Rock that God has used in an awesome and an amazing way. But I never forget where I came from. Yeah.
Good. Tony Seville is tuning in. She said, "What's up? Hey, Pop.
What's up, daughter? What's up, daughter?"
Now, you were raised right here in North Little Rock.
Yes, North Side.
Talk about your parents.
Okay. Well, my mom was an amazing lady. She lived until she was 85. My father passed back in 77. He and my mom went their separate ways. I was 1 year of age.
Okay.
Did not have the best relationship with my father, but I knew him. But he had his own struggles that he dealt with. But had two great parents. Then I had a stepfather in my life.
Okay.
For most of my life. He passed back in really early 80s. But the other person that has been such an instrumental part of my life has been my spiritual father, Bishop D.L. Lindsay,
Okay.
The founder of Lindsay's Barbecue. So he's been with me since junior high school.
Right.
And so he plays that father role in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for those of you guys who don't know who Bishop Lindsay is, that's Anthony P's grandfather.
Right.
Okay. And I know it may seem on Sunday like Anthony P does not have a pastor for a grandfather and an uncle, but I'm gonna tell y'all, Anthony P comes from a very spiritual family.
Yes.
And he be on here, Bishop, clowning sometimes.
He
And
can't
people
help it. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself.
but that is Anthony P's grandfather who
Yes.
Bishop is talking about.
Yes.
Okay, Bishop. So we talked about you growing up in North Little Rock.
Yeah, I'm from the hood.
Okay.
I'm from the hood.
What part of North Little Rock?
2702 East Washington.
So you over there from Washington. Where's 27th in Washington? Give me a landmark of where 27th.
It's close to Winks.
I know what Winks is.
Yes.
Winks been there 100 years.
100 years.
That mall stand been there forever. So y'all used to walk down to that mall stand and get y'all some ice cream.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Yes.
All right. So I can't even start right now. Let me go ahead and get these people. Veronica Love is saying, "This is awesome. I just shared it." Viola is saying,
That's
"Hey,
my cousin.
fam." Viola's your fam?
Yeah.
Man, Viola is a big supporter
Oh
of
yeah.
UTB.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Marcella Town Winston is saying, "Good evening and hello, Bishop."
What's up, girl?
Okay, so we talked about grandfather. Siblings. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have one brother, and then I have three sisters.
Okay.
Yes. We have my brother who stays in Jacksonville. I've got a sister who stays here in North Little Rock.
Mhm.
Then I have an older sister who's in Denver, Colorado. And then another sister who's in Chicago, Illinois.
Now, I need all of you guys are saying hello to Bishop. I need all of y'all to share this live. I need you to say share, and I need you to put shared in a comment. Y'all doing all this speaking and hey, Bishop, but ain't nobody sharing. I need y'all to share. Okay, Bishop, how many children do you have, Bishop?
We have, between me and Shanta, we have 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
The oldest is Tremont Arnold, who's in Dallas, Texas. He's 46.
Okay.
The 2 youngest, Quincy and Michelle, they're 35.
Do you have any grandchildren, Bishop?
Oh my God, we have 10 grandchildren.
Wow.
And 1 on the way.
That's a woo. Y'all got your kids been busy.
Oh yeah, we gotta try it, man. We gotta try it. We go deep. Don't invite us over. Don't invite us over unless you got a lot of food.
Okay, now we're gonna get into it. How long have you and Shanta been married? I know y'all. This is the second time around.
Second time around.
But we're gonna talk about that. But how long have you guys been married? Talk about both times. How long?
Okay. First time 5 years.
Okay.
And right now we're right at 5. But now this is just a jokey joke. This
Okay,
is what we have fun with.
Okay.
We try not to count the time between us
Okay.
when we took a sabbatical from each other.
Okay.
But when you count all of it, it's 18 years. So sometimes, because we were apart for 8 years and we got back together. So, but legally 10 years, counting the 2 times.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're so glad and grateful that God orchestrated our lives and the love to bring us back together, and it's better the second time around.
Good, good. My mother-in-law, Carolyn Wilkins, is saying hello, Bishop Arnold. She's
Hey,
on here
Mama.
listening. Nicole, Miss Calhoun said that she shared it. Thank you, Yvette Shelton. Thank you guys for all sharing it. Now, Bishop, what do you enjoy doing on your spare time? Like, what does Bishop does when he's not preaching and he's not working in the church? What do you enjoy doing?
I love swimming.
Really?
I was a former athlete years ago, a long time ago, All-American football player, all of that. But at this stage of my life, at 65, I really enjoy the water. Have a pool at the house, getting ready to close it down because it's getting cool.
Right.
So I'll take out a membership over here in North Little Rock at the Mayor Patrick Hayes Center.
Right.
And I'll be in the water. That's what I really enjoy doing. I'm a water baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you learn to swim from a young age? How early did you learn how to
Sherman
swim?
Park. I was taught how to swim the old school way.
Mhm.
My big brother threw me in the deep end.
And it said, figure it out. Figure it out.
Figure it out. You either gonna swim or drown.
Bishop, I'm trying to get people to know who you are a little bit more about you outside of the pulpit. We're going to talk about the pulpit things, but what's your favorite food? Like, what do you enjoy eating?
My favorite food would probably be barbecue.
Okay.
And spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you cook often? Are you a cook?
No.
So you wasn't blessed with it. Okay. No cooking.
No.
The wife does all the cooking at the house.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now this is a question. You know, people think that pastors only listen to gospel music. Bishop, if I was to get in your car, Bishop, and I was to hook your phone up to your car, what music? And I'm gonna say this: you cannot say no gospel artist. What artists are you listening to outside of gospel?
Okay, I'm old school.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm 65, so my favorite R&B person is Whitney Houston.
Wendy Houston. Okay.
Yes,
okay. Listen to a lot of Wendy Houston.
Yes, Whitney Houston.
I remember a song that I know you used to like, and I'm going to shock you when I say this. You used to like Keisha Cole.
Oh,
did I hit you?
You got me.
Keisha Cole. Was it Love or was it which one? It was one of the Keisha Cole songs. I remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Keisha Cole. Okay, yes. So Wendy Houston, Keisha Cole. Okay,
Luther Vandross.
Temptations. So Bishop, you wouldn't be having to listen to no rap music, right? Bishop don't listen to no rap. So you're R&B old school,
right? Now,
okay.
I like this new person. Well, she's really not new. She's engaged to an agent.
An agent.
She's from England.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
Come on, B.
If y'all know who Bishop is talking about, put it in a comment. Female, right?
Yes,
R&B.
Yes.
She's engaged to somebody from England. If y'all know who Bishop is talking about, please help Bishop out.
I think it's LeBron's agent.
I know who you're talking about. Paul. He's married to Paul. She is dating. It's a country. She sings country.
No. She doesn't sing country.
Adele.
Yes.
Adele. Somebody just put it. Yes. Okay.
I mean, she has a beautiful voice.
All right. Well, the church is tuned in. They say that's our bishop. Marcella Town Winston said, B-Level, you got cleaned up. I told y'all when I saw Bishop was coming, I put my Sunday's best on.
Well, see, I wore my polo for both.
Yeah. Okay. For both.
Yes.
Bishop, man. Bo, when I say Bo, we lost Bo in November. And when I can tell you, Bo was the same old way every time you saw Bishop. He was loud.
Oh, yeah.
But he did not change. He was always Bo.
Yeah, he was authentic.
Very.
And once again, I was telling you before we went on the air, coming from the neighborhood that I was raised in, that's how we were raised. You know, be who you are, be real, unto that own self be true. Yeah.
Pastor Scotty Long is on here is saying he liked he liked Wild Whammy. He liked Wild Whammy. I don't know what that is. Scott, you got to clean that up. I don't know what you're talking about. He liked Wild Whammy.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I don't know what that is. Pastor Scotty is saying that. All right, Bishop. So listen, let's talk about back in the day. What made you you play football, correct?
Yes.
What made you start getting into pastoring, giving your life to Christ? What happened? Was it your breakthrough? Did something happen in your life that made you? Sometimes sometimes our people, something have to happen to make us turn.
Yeah.
What was and when was that? I want you to talk about when you decided to give your life to Christ and really dedicate him full time. When was that?
Great question, B. Things started happening in my 11th grade year. I had some homeboys that we used to stay in a lot of trouble together.
Okay.
And God allowed both of them to kind of be separated from me. A lot of other things started happening. I had homeboys getting hit in the head. A lot of different things started happening. And one day I was coming in from track practice, and a young man by the name of Maurice Watson. We refer
you talk
to him
about
now
him
as,
all the time.
Yes, Dr. Watson. He was playing basketball, and we ended up in the locker room at the same time.
Okay.
And at this time, God was dealing with me, and I asked him a question. I said, look, explain to me this Christianity stuff. He witnessed to me in that locker room, and I accepted Christ at the end of my 11th grade year. And at that time, I had already been offered a scholarship, the University of Florida in Gainesville, the Gators. By the time I became a senior, I was All-American. Was getting ready to sign with the University of Baylor. But I felt the tug of God on my heart to not play football, but to start the process of being prepared for ministry.
Okay.
Really messed up the city, messed up my family. I thought I had lost my mind. Why in the world are you walking away from all of these scholarships, a way to get out of the hood?
Okay. Right.
And at the time, I was so far away from even as far as being able to speak like I speak now. I had a learning disability. I had a speech impediment.
Okay.
But God started working with me, and I knew that God had another plan for my life. And that's what I started pursuing.
Well, when you say getting prepared, what are some of the things you did to get prepared for that?
At the time, Maurice was a big help as far as we was attending a Bible study every weekend.
Okay.
Start going with him to the prisons once a month, witnessing to the prisoners. And then once a month, we would go to the nursing home and minister to the people in the nursing home. So that was the formative years of my life as a Christian, which has shaped who I am, which is why I have the theme, reaching people where they are. It wasn't about what you did in the church building. It was what you did outside of the church building, taking the love of God to people behind prison walls, taking the gospel message to the people who were in nursing homes that had been forgotten about, all of those things. So those were the years of preparation for what I am doing now. And I wouldn't change those things for the world, though it was a struggle early on. I'll never forget, by the time I became a pastor at my first church down in Bald Knob, Arkansas, small church, had about probably 50 members. Had came home because that day my car had broken down. And matter of fact, Maurice allowed me to use his car to drive to Bald Knob. And so he came back later on that Sunday to pick up his car. And I got the newspaper, a young man that I had been going to junior high and high school with. He ended up getting drafted in the first round by the Washington Redskins. They're the Commanders now. But they interviewed him, and he said in the interview, he said, if anyone should be in the NFL, it should be Stephen Arnold.
Wow.
He said, he taught me everything I know. He said, but he's back home in Arkansas preaching. Now, it was a compliment, but it didn't come at the right time because here I am struggling.
Struggling.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't have enough money to even get my car repaired.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, I knew I was where God wanted me to be, doing what God had called me to do.
Right.
And so, I look back at all of that. They were rough times. They were hard times.
Right.
But it all paid off.
How old were you when you were called to pastor the Ball Knob Church? How old
23.
were you? 23 years
Yeah.
old, had your own church.
Yes.
A little over 50 members.
Yes.
How were you able to grow that church? How long did you stay in Ball Knob? What happened?
Yeah. The big thing, what God has always given me is a unique ability to connect with people, to love people.
Right.
And I was clueless about pastoring at 23. And most of the people who I was pastoring were old enough to be my parents and grandparents.
Right.
But I loved them and they loved me.
Right.
And I stayed there for 4.5 years. The church grew.
Okay.
We was able to, at that time, that was back in 1982.
All right.
83. And at the time, when I started pastoring the church, they had $65 in the bank. By the time I left, we was able to put on, and once again, it's not a lot of money nowadays, but at $15,000, we were able to add an educational wing to the church.
Okay.
And here's the interesting thing: the two former pastors that I followed, they both had gotten put out of the church.
Wow.
So when I left, it wasn't a dry eye in the building. They cried. One of the mothers came up to me and said, "We don't know how to act when somebody leave us. We're used to putting everybody out.
We're used to leaving them."
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't change that. Those were the 4 years that really impacted my life,
Right.
and really taught me how to love people and to lead people.
What happened? You spent 4 years there.
And then Maurice invited me to come up. I left there and became the assistant pastor at St. Mark Baptist Church while Maurice Watson was still the senior pastor. And I'll never forget the conversation that we had. He asked me, because by this time, we've been knowing each other forever.
Right.
And he was my big brother in the ministry, my role model, my mentor. And he said, "Steve, come and serve on staff with me." He said, "Give me 5 years and we're going to turn this church completely around."
So, Bishop, when you say St. Mark, was it the St. Mark that's on 12th Street? Was it the St. Mark? Okay, where was the St. Mark at?
It was in the hood, 33rd and Gaines, right around the corner from Sims Barbecue.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all was down there in the hood. Y'all wasn't on the okay.
No.
But this was the regular St. Mark that's on 12th. It just started over there, right?
Yes.
Did y'all move?
The church started in the South End.
South, okay.
Not at that particular location, but it was in the South End in that same neighborhood.
Okay, stayed there. How long did you stay there with
well, he asked me to give him 5 years. Here's the kicker. 8 months later, he left.
He asked you to give 5 years and he bailed on you.
He bailed on me, man. He got ghosts. He got ghosts.
Okay.
Man. 8 months later, he got called to a church in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Now, I was talking to a young lady just last week, young lady named Anita Hampton. Okay. And she still believes to today that me and Maurice had that whole thing planned. She said, "No, you and Maurice, y'all had that thing planned.
Right.
He invited you because he knew he was leaving. But it was not on the radar screen. He knew nothing about the church in Omaha. And matter of fact, I was up for 3 other churches, St. Mark, New Hebron over in the East End.
Okay.
And where I wanted to go to King Solomon.
King Solomon, okay.
King Solomon's North Little Rock. They wanted me because there were some members of St. Mark that did not want me to be the pastor.
Okay.
And I'm this way. I'm like, y'all don't want me. I don't want y'all.
Okay, so I'm gonna go where I want it.
I'm going where I want it. So they set up. They found out when St. Mark was going to vote, and they moved their vote up a week ahead. So they called me over. They said, "Look, if we vote you in, will you accept?" I said, no, the Lord want me at St. Mark.
Really? So Bishop, once Maurice Watson left, you automatically went to the senior pastor, right?
No.
Okay.
No,
You did not? Okay.
no. That's when that was doing all the voting time. That while he had left,
Okay.
during that time, St. Mark was doing interviews to get a new pastor.
Okay.
King Solomon was interviewing for a new pastor.
Okay.
And there's another church, New Hebron. All three of these churches was looking for a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I declined New Hebron. I declined King Solomon.
Okay.
And that following week, St. Mark voted me in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the rest is history.
So when you first took on the job being Maurice's assistant pastor, how many members did the church have then?
Church probably had about 300 members.
300 members. Okay. How long do y'all stay on Gaines Street before y'all move to 12th Street?
Year number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. The first 3 years was a hard time because, I was coming from Bald Knob. And
Right.
once again, Maurice, to me, is one of the greatest preachers that ever walked this earth. And by no stretch of the imagination, the amount of preacher that he is. But it gave me time those first 2 years to really get my feet up under me.
Right.
And by year number 4, the church really started growing. And we had to add a second service. And St. Mark was one of the first churches, Black congregations, to add an 8 o'clock service.
Okay.
And by year number 5, we had outgrown that church. And by that time, we were getting ready to purchase the church on 12th Street.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. What happened that made you guys move from Gaines Street to 12th Street? You guys just kept growing, outgrew the building.
Yes.
Moved over to 12th Street. What year is this that you guys moved over to 12th Street?
1994. Same year I graduated from Philander Smith now University.
Okay, so 94, you move over to 12th Street, right?
Yes.
At that time, guesstimation, I'm asking you
about
to guess.
800 members.
Okay, all right. So you about 8. So you bumped it up 500-600 members, moved over there, 800 members back in, what's the year again?
1994.
94.
What was you doing in 1994?
I had graduated in 90. 94. Bishop, I was probably playing a lot of women. I had a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? You want me now? We being real now, Bishop.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Look.
I
know who I'm asking.
94. I had plenty of money and plenty of women. Bishop. I'm just, but that's another part. That's another story.
That's another show. All right.
But listen. So you moved over there in 94.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me why you feel that St. Mark had the phenomenal growth that it had from those years of 94 leading up to 2010?
Yes.
There was a phenomenal growth spurt for the church in those years. What were you guys doing? What were you doing that people just wanted to be a part of St. Mark Baptist Church? What was going on in that church that people wanted to join and grow?
First and foremost, it was the hand of God. It was the favor of God. And God allowed me to do something there that I think was very unique. And that was to develop people in the area of discipleship. I had some guys that we were all basically in the same age bracket. And I just started sowing into them. I started discipling them. And some of them are still there today.
Right.
Lamar Bailey,
Right.
Tim Woods.
Right.
Those guys are key foundational members of that church.
Right.
And some of the big reasons why that church is still the leading church in this area today.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we were doing cutting edge things. One of the things that I'm a firm believer in, I believe that God has uniquely anointed me to be a trailblazer. And I think I inherited that from my spiritual father, Bishop D.L. Lindsay.
Right.
I like doing things that others don't do or are not doing. And God allowed me to hook up with a guy in Memphis, Tennessee by the name of Alvin O'Neill Jackson.
Okay.
At the time, he was pastoring Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church.
Right.
And he allowed me at the time to bring my staff over twice a year to see what they were doing. And so what they were doing, we were able to bring that back to Little Rock and put those things into play. And the church just started growing, from youth ministry to outreach ministry, all of those things that a lot of local churches in this area, as far as Black congregations, were not doing. So we were on the cutting edge of being very progressive. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you this, Bishop. Another reason I feel like the phenomenal growth that you had is when I first met you, and I'm not good with years, but you were different, right? I believe that you can win in three ways, Bishop. I believe that you can win by being the best at something. I believe that you can win by being the first at something. I also believe that you can win by being the best at something. And when I met you, you were different. I didn't want one of those pastors that was too holier than thou, right?
Yeah.
That was very judgmental and you got to live right and you got to do this. And you accepted me for what you accepted me for where I was.
Yes.
Your vision of reaching people where they are.
Yes.
You have always lived your life. You didn't treat me any different from the person who was the Bible thumping, spitting out these verses. But I respected the fact that you were a pastor, but you did not treat me. And that was the reason why I decided, my wife and I at that point in time was Yana, I joined because of my relationship. You were coming in, you were on our morning show. You were coming in to promote the church.
Yes.
And didn't know you. You didn't know me.
Right.
But I connected with you just coming in to promote Bible study. You would come in every Wednesday to promote Bible study. Just connected with you. Didn't know you from a fly on the wall.
Right.
But I was drawn to you just the way you were just different.
Yeah.
And I think that had a lot to do, at St. Mark. I'm pretty sure a lot of members came over there because of their relationship with you. I know there were some other reasons why they joined St. Mark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But a big reason why a lot of these church have success is because of the pastor.
Yes.
Why were you different? Why did you decide to not be?
It goes all the way back to my upbringing, reaching people where they are. I had people in my family that struggled with drug addiction. I had people that dealt drugs. I had all of that. I was raised in the midst of all of that. And just like it wasn't fair for me to judge them or others to judge them. But then I look at our perfect example, Jesus Christ. He said he didn't come for those who had it all together.
Right.
He came for those who were messed up.
Right.
And if he did that, the Bible tells us, I'm doing a little preaching.
No, you good.
The Bible says, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ came and died for us. Not when we had it all together, not when we were dotting every I or crossing every T, but when we were tore up from the flow up.
Right.
Jesus came and died for us. But what hurts the church is sometimes we can be so heavenly minded that we're no earthly good.
Come on, man.
And we can be so condescending to people. People make mistakes. One of the things that I say at Grace United, we don't gossip about the fallen. We pray for the fallen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we run people away from the church because when we find out something about them, when they make a mistake, we shoot them, we kill them.
Wow.
I had a mother of the church. She said, the only thing that needs to be thrown away is trash.
Right.
Not people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple comments. Yvette Holloway say, that's my pastor.
That
Yes.
all the way from Stuttgart.
Yes. Chris McGee say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Marcella Town Winston said, the anointing has always been over Bishop Arnold, and I became a member under his leadership. And he still have the same power wherever he goes. I will always respect and honor him as my forever bishop. Hey, Marcella Town Weston, the same. I feel the same way. So you guys, Bishop, at this point in time, y'all continue to grow.
Yes.
At some point in time, you guys launched a capital campaign.
Yes.
Where you were getting ready to build on at St. Mark.
Yes.
When does this happen? What year does this happen? When you guys?
All of that started in 2008. Yeah, started in 2008. The whole process. And right in 2010, we were getting ready we had broke ground and construction was getting ready to start in 2011. Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, when the capital campaign was launched, trauma starts, right?
Yes.
You leave the church.
Yes.
4 days or a week before they're signing the loan,
Oh yeah.
Bishop's gone.
Yes.
When you left St. Mark, what did you do?
When I left, or it caused me to leave?
When you left, when you went on, when you were made to leave. What?
Oh yeah.
What did Bishop do then? Where did Bishop go then?
Where did I go?
Yeah,
we started Grace Temple.
That's where I'm trying to get you to go.
We started Grace Temple.
Okay.
We started Grace Temple.
So you started on. You had worked for a church all of your
21
life.
years. Yeah.
What went in your desire to start your own church? Obviously, that happened. You were kind of kicked out. You said, I'm going to go have faith, start my own, be my own boss.
Mm-hmm.
You started Grace Temple.
Yes.
Right? Do you guys, is the airport, or do y'all go? No, y'all don't go there first. You
We started on Mississippi. A guy named Bishop K.D. Allen.
I remember that.
Had a church, and he allowed us to have our services there for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And after 6 weeks, we moved next to Best Buy. It used to be linen and things.
Yes.
We stayed there for 9 months.
Okay.
And after 9 months, we moved to Shackelford.
I remember that.
At the warehouse. And we stayed there for 8 years.
Okay. Yeah. All this moving you're doing, right?
Yes.
You got some of the people that were St. Mark.
Right.
Following you. Half of them stayed.
Yes.
Some people was torn. Some people wanted to go. Some people wanted to stay.
Yes.
You know, how did that affect you, Bishop?
Oh my God. I was on an emotional roller coaster.
How was you? What happened to you?
Well, one of the things, and let me be very transparent, because once again, it's all about being real. You know, I messed up. You know, I had an inappropriate relationship. I had an affair. I owned that. I confessed that. And I had to deal with the consequences of that.
Okay.
Lost the love of my life. And, you know, people talk to me about that. I was more hurt by losing her than I was losing the church.
And we're talking about Shanta.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then at the same time, I was very hurt because I had let a lot of people down.
Right.
And let me minister and say this to someone. God has placed over my life supernatural favor. And it was something that I learned from that experience. With favor comes responsibility.
Right.
You know, I don't care how much favor we have on our life. It should never give us a green light to be reckless.
Right.
And that's what I did.
Right.
And so now I look fast forward. God has given me a second chance.
Right.
God has given me another chance.
Right.
And I thank God for the favor that still surrounds my life.
Right.
That allows me to make a difference in people's life. But back then, I was on an emotional roller coaster. But once again, God gave me a special grace to keep on going. Right. I wanted to quit. Matter of fact, I wanted to leave this state. Yeah.
Wow.
If I could have went to the moon, I wanted a one-way ticket to go to the moon and not come back.
Well, let me ask you this, Bishop. Why did you stay? Why did you leave?
I felt the Lord wanted me to stay, and that God wanted to redeem me right here where I messed up.
Right.
And when I say this right here, God has done that.
Yes.
God has He's redeemed my life. He's redeemed my marriage. He's redeemed my ministry.
Right.
And I have such a spirit now of gratitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't look at what I don't have.
Yes.
I look at all the things that I do have.
Right.
And God has tremendously blessed me. I know we're going to talk about Grace United later on, but I'm here to tell you what God has done at my age, serving in ministry for 44 years. As I said, I love being a trailblazer. I like doing things. Matter of fact, this is how I feel about life. If everybody else is doing what I'm doing, it's time for me to do something different.
Right.
And I look at what's going on now. Maurice Watson tells me all the time, he says, look, you're the only person that can do what you're doing right now in this city.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Bishop, were you depressed when you left there?
Oh my God. When I left there, I was B-level, I was so depressed, man. I would leave the house on Sunday to go preach, and I would come back, get in my bed, turn the lights off, and I would stay there normally until that next Sunday.
Wow.
And get up and go do what I had to do. But let me say this right here. I had thank God for Maurice Watson, Bishop D.L. Lindsay, but I had some young men that they're my sons. Ricky Calhoun,
Right.
Bud, those guys walked
The police
me through-
officer, Bud?
Yeah, the police officer.
Okay, yeah.
Those guys that I adopted when I was at St. Mark, when no one else wanted me to deal with those guys because I got them out of the street. They walked me through those seasons back then when I left. And they're still with me now, and we get together almost on a quarterly basis and we just hang out.
Yeah.
They're all grown now and involved in ministry. Ahmad, Eddie, Buckethead, all those guys.
Right.
And we're still close today. I'm their father in the ministry. I love them. They love me. But they were there for me. Yeah. But yes, answer your question. Was I depressed? Oh my God. I was in a deep depression. And I reached out and I got the counseling that I needed.
That's what I was getting ready to go to.
Yeah. And that's something that a lot of times in the African-American community that we don't do, that we need to start doing.
Right.
Because you can have Jesus, but you still need a counselor.
Right.
Yeah.
My last question about that, and we're going to move on. What did you learn from that, Bishop? What did you
the
take
biggest
from
thing
that?
was, never take favor for granted. Never take influence for granted.
Right.
It is a great responsibility to be a spiritual leader.
Right.
It's a great responsibility to be a leader on any kind of level, whether it's civic, whether it's your home, community. You should never take that lightly or be so cavalier that you're not conscious of your own actions and the ramifications of what you do can pay great dividends in hurting other people.
We'll read a couple of comments. Kimberly Utsi says, Bishop has a true pastor's heart. Jeremiah 3:15. Will Tread is saying, Will Treadway is listening. Thank you for listening. Pauline Anderson is saying, my pastor. Jennifer Newton is saying, I love this. Transparency builds souls.
Yes.
Vicky Bridge is saying, this is real growth for all of our souls. Thank you, sir. Marcella Town Winston is saying, it's nothing like the goodness of God. And then the last comment we have, Vicky Bridge is saying, grateful how God is keeping you.
Yes.
So you're going through these different places. You're going through the airport. You're moving. You're constantly moving. How do you come in contact with our church now, Grace United Little Rock?
Wow. Okay. Let me tell that story. Wow. Beloved, there's been certain seasons of my life that God's hands have been so obvious and so evident. And at the time, we were kind of coming out of the pandemic. And at this time, we were purchasing a church over by the airport, with the purple roof on it.
Right.
And at the time, the people we were purchasing it from raised the interest rate. Now we were already, and I'm just going to tell it like it is, we were already paying $10,000 a month.
Okay.
And they raised it up to $13,000. And I'm like, wait a minute, I got people dying during the pandemic,
Right.
Losing their jobs.
Right.
We can't go inside.
Right.
And but when people see me, they just see money. So they like, you can pay it.
Right. Right.
And so I said, I tell you what, if y'all are not going to renegotiate this, I'm going to give y'all the keys.
Okay.
And that's what I did. I turned in the keys. I'm like, look at here. I am not going to continue to do this right here.
Right.
And as I was walking away, I called a white pastor friend of mine. And at the time, he was getting ready to move. And Josh, the guy who I am doing this with now, stayed across the street. He came over while I'm talking to this other guy. And he says, Bishop Arnold is looking for a place that he can share space with someone. And Pastor Josh said, tell him to give me a call tomorrow. We need to talk. Now, this guy is leaving the next day.
Okay. Okay.
So the call that I made was right on time.
Mm.
So the next day, me and Pastor Josh, we have a conversation. We set up a time. I go over and meet with him. Now, I'm just going to see the building.
Okay. Okay.
He says, you don't know why you're here, but I know why you're here.
Okay.
Now, I'm being as honest as I can be. The last thing on my mind is merging my church
Right.
with the white church.
We finna talk about it. We gonna talk about it, Bishop. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
So,
okay.
but that's how it came about.
Okay.
And so we just started to lease space. My
Okay.
service was at 9 o'clock. Their service was at 10:45.
Okay.
That's all I was planning on doing.
Okay. So you guys were running, and you guys was running a service. He was still running a service.
Yes.
Y'all were operating two different churches, two choirs, two the music directors, two bands,
All
two
of that.
everything
All
different.
of that. Yes.
Now, Bishop, now you know, and I know that Black people and white people don't do much together, right? We let me just tell you something. I done own 2 or 3 nightclubs. We don't party together,
No.
and we don't worship together.
Right.
So you guys have gotten to 3 years
Yes.
doing it together.
Yes.
How have you changed the trajectory of how people worship?
Oh, B-level. I've been doing this for a long time, and the best way I can say it, divine intervention. It has been a God thing, and God has given the Black congregation, the white congregation, the grace to come together as one.
Mm.
And if I wasn't in the midst of it, I wouldn't
You would believe it, right? Right.
I would not believe it. And
Right.
I refer to it as a marriage. I really do. We had a dating period that we were getting to know each other.
Right.
And then we became one. And like any married couple, both of these individuals come sometimes from different background, different traditions, and compromise has to happen. Communication has to happen. And that's what has happened in the midst of this situation. And it has been a beautiful experience. And the thing that I love about it, it provides something for people who are looking for diversity.
Right.
When I tell you we're having more mixed couples come in, white and Black couples, Hispanic couples, because normally if it's a white person, a Black person, one of the individuals has to make the sacrifice.
Right.
Either they go to all white church and the Black person feels uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
They go to all Black church and the white person feels uncomfortable. But this has been a situation every week. I see new couples that are darkening the doors of Grace United because they're like, we see ourselves.
Right.
We see ourselves on the stage.
Right. Right.
We see ourselves out in the lobby.
Right.
We see ourselves, and it becomes a place of comfort and acceptance.
Wow.
Yeah.
How difficult was it merging the choirs, the ushers? How difficult was that task?
It was a challenge. It was a challenge. It was a challenge because I consider what we're doing is not, you have a scale of Black church. You have a scale from 1 to 10. We're probably at that 6, but it's got a lot of Black flavor.
Okay.
The energy is there.
Right.
The spirit is there.
Right.
And it has progressed from day one to where it is now. Oh, I mean, it's amazing. But it was a process.
How do you guys figure out, and obviously, it's probably y'all just negotiated. How do you guys figure out who's going to preach?
We rotate.
Okay.
We rotate.
So you guys are on a schedule. Are you rotating Sunday daily? Are you rotating? I'm preaching this Sunday. You're preaching it. Or are you saying you're preaching the 9 o'clock?
No,
no. Okay.
Whoever normally right now, the way we do it, whoever preaches the morning service does the second service. So we rotate, and right now we're on a schedule like every other week.
Right. Okay.
I'm on 1 week, off the next week. Yeah.
Good. What else I had? I had a couple questions. I'm going. Okay. When COVID came, how have the church transitioned from a lot of people being online virtually? Has that turned around?
It has turned around because
Okay.
right now, even during the summer months, we have been averaging between 700 to 800 people on a weekly basis.
Wow.
And the amazing thing, especially back last year, we started having people to come to the church that had not come to an in-person service since the pandemic. Yeah. So it's been a slow process, but when I look at where it is now, I mean, B-level right now, we're looking at starting a third service probably sometime next year because both services are at capacity.
What do you think the flavor is? What is the special sauce on it, Bishop? Like, what is the special sauce?
Outside of just the hand of God, one of the things that you're going to experience, and I'm big on this, is love and grace. Grace United is a place of love and grace. And the people, because a lot of times I'll call the first time guests and ask them questions, what did you like about it?
Right.
And if I talk to 10 people, 8 of those individuals are going to say, we were overwhelmed by the hospitality.
Wow.
I'm talking about from the parking lot to the front door. We've got people on the parking lot that's driving people, picking them up on the golf carts,
right,
driving them to the front door, loving on them, being kind to them, because this is what I think is so important. Before a person ever hears the choir, the praise team, or the sermon, sometimes people get turned off because of mean folks in the church.
Right. Right. Right.
Ushers being mean,
right,
greeters being mean,
right,
but God has set an atmosphere at Grace United of love and grace. And that's our tagline. Grace United is a place of love and grace.
Bishop, how long do you plan on this marriage being, right? Is this an agreement that you guys are going to stay married just for a little while until y'all, this is a permanent?
Until death do us part. What God has joined together,
let no man
put asunder. Matter of fact, it's our long-term vision is to plant churches. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we celebrated 25 years at St. Mark Community Church in Jacksonville.
Okay.
25 years ago, God gave us the grace to start a church in Jacksonville because we had over 200 people come into St. Mark in Little Rock from Jacksonville. So we started the church out there. And so 2 weeks ago, they celebrated 25 years. We want to do that same thing in other areas in the greater Arkansas, Central Arkansas area. We're looking at Conway. We're looking at Bryant, Arkansas, churches that will have the same DNA of places of love and grace with diversity.
Wow.
Yeah.
For those of you guys that are tuning in, we're talking to Bishop Stephen Arnold. We are going all the way started all the way from North Little Rock and have worked our way up to Cantrell. Grace United Little Rock. Bishop, this Sunday is your 3-year anniversary. I want to play a video that you and Pastor Josh made, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Bishop, it's been 3 years.
3 years
since the Lord has done something amazing in the city of Little Rock and in our midst. And I am so excited to be celebrating our 3-year anniversary here at the end of September.
Yes, September the 28th, we will celebrate 3 years of being in existence. We're so glad and grateful that in these 3 years, God has allowed us to become a church of love and grace. Yep. We're inviting you to become a part of that celebration. We've got 2 amazing guests, Pastor Rick from New Life, and then Dr. Christopher Bernard Davis from Memphis, Tennessee. They're going to be in the house. You don't want to miss it. Come and celebrate with Grace United. God bless you. God keep you. That's our prayer.
All right, Bishop. So this Sunday, 3 years, somebody's asking the address of the church. Give them the address of the church.
12900 Cantrell. If you are going out west on Cantrell, You get out by Sam Peck, right across the street from the coffee shop, Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah.
You can't see the church off the street. You have to turn in by the sign, go up that hill. Beautiful facility right up on top of the hill. You know, a lot of people didn't even know the church existed, but I tell you what, a lot of people know where it is now.
This is the flyer. Now you've got two pastors that's preaching this Sunday. Tell us about these two pastors that's going to preach this Sunday.
Well, once again, we always try to bring diversity to the table, and Pastor Rick Bazette is the founding pastor of New Life Church. They started in Conway. They have a location in Maumelle. They have a location in Searcy, Cabot, Hot Springs, Bryant. I wanted him to come because he's just really been a blessing to my life, and because he's doing already what Grace United wants to do.
Okay.
You know, I'm a firm believer in hooking up with people that's already doing great things. And Pastor Rick is already doing great things. We're right there in the same age bracket. He's 64, I'm 65, but he has been a great friend, a great encouragement. So he'll be preaching at the 9 o'clock worship service.
Okay.
And then Chris Davis, he's like my little brother. I mean, you know, his children are my nieces and nephews. We've been knowing each other over 30 years. He started out here in Arkansas. He pastors in Memphis, Tennessee at the St. Paul Baptist Church, as well as president of one of the historical Black colleges in Memphis, Tennessee, Lemoyne Owens, who's doing a tremendous job. And you talking about some kind of preacher.
Man.
He'll be preaching at 10:45. You don't want to miss Chris.
Man, let me tell you something. If you have never heard Dr. Chris Davis preach,
oh my God,
you want to be there Sunday, Bishop. I will be there Sunday.
You need to be in the
to
house.
hear Christopher Davis. This man is anointed like no other and can bring the word. He will tear that church down. I've heard him several times.
Yes, that's my dude.
All right, couple comments. Tony Seville is saying, she's saying, when is your Sunday? I don't mean any harm. I just want to make sure my first visit is on his Sunday.
First Sunday in October. First Sunday in October.
Okay, all right. First Sunday in October, Tony. Look at PB. Let's see what Miss Bridges is saying. We talked about the church address. Somebody said, yes, what a blessing. And this person put the Grace United 12900 Cantrell Road is the place you need to be. Now, Bishop, you started, sometimes you started this podcast, right? I don't know if do you call it a podcast? What do you, Grace Walks or something? What is it called?
It's something our media people have come up with. They didn't think I could do interviews, but, you know, I started out years ago in radio, KITA. So, you know, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So.
Well, look, Bishop, I want to play about a minute of one of your interviews. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about it.
My nephew, Robbie.
There it is.
Welcome to Grace Walks. It's here that we're finding and discovering the footsteps toward the favor of God. Welcome. I'm Bishop Stephen Arnold, visionary pastor here at Grace United. Welcome to Grace Walks. On last year, we introduced Grace Walks as a testimony of the miraculous things that God has done in individuals' lives. We're taking it another step forward as we do more interviews to get a more up and close look at the story behind the story. We're glad and we're grateful on today to have a young man that I am so proud of, Robbie McIntosh.
Hey, how you doing?
Robbie, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. We want to just hear Robbie's story. And we want to start off by, because I'm so close and acquainted with his family. And we just want to hear about your family.
Okay. Mom, Michelle Thompson. Dad, Robert McIntosh Jr. Great parents. I say I come from a good home. My parents were divorced at the age when I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
So single parent home is where I grew up, but still spent a lot of time with my dad, weekends and things like that.
So, Bishop, tell me, what is Grace Walk? What is it?
It is what we say it is. It's really trying to get the story behind the story. Case in point, Robbie McIntosh. I am so proud of that young man. I call him my nephew. You know, he hasn't had the easiest journey. He's gotten off track a few times, like we all can do.
Right.
But came back and has just, I mean, he's knocking it out the park. And I want other young people to know his story, because to me, it's a story of faith. It's also a story of perseverance. The other thing is, and this is really important to me, Robbie does things with the spirit of excellence. And if it's something that we need to continue to emphasize in the African-American community, I don't care what color you are, if you do it with excellence, it's going to succeed.
Right.
And that's why I'm so proud of Robbie. You know, Robbie is just, he's doing it, you know, and I know his grandfather, Robert A. McIntosh, is looking down and proud of what his grandson is doing, because I am certainly proud.
Well, Robbie is getting ready to open a new location over in North Little Rock. So he's going to have 2 locations.
Yes.
You took that McIntosh recipe, got some of the best food.
Yes.
If you are hungry, you're on Colonel Glenn. Is that Ash or Colonel Glenn? I think that
Colonel
may be Colonel Glenn.
Yeah. Used to be Ash.
Yeah. And then he has a new location that's getting ready to open up on North Little Rock.
Broadway.
Pretty soon. How often are you doing Grace Walk? How often are you having these conversations?
We try to have it maybe once a month. We've got some that we haven't aired, but that's in the can, and so they ought to be coming out pretty soon.
Okay, and are you the only one that's doing them? Or
I'm
Pastor
the only
Josh
one doing
doing
Grace Walk. Pastor Josh has one called Grace Talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Where can they see these conversations, or whether are they on social media?
YouTube. They can see them on YouTube, but they're also on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we get out of here, Bishop, how is you and Shanta?
Oh my God, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Now, you know, Bishop, I was hanging out with you when y'all first got back together, because you know, me and my ex, we were going through. we were going through, and I'm gonna tell you, the way you and Shanta showed up for me and my ex, like I said, no matter what I was doing, no matter what I was going through, every time I picked up, you answered.
Yeah.
Shanta called.
Yeah.
Canceled with us. Now, unfortunately, we didn't make it.
Well, hey, sometimes it don't work.
But you guys did all y'all possibly could to sow into our marriage to try to get us to make it.
Yeah.
And I remember you being so thrilled at the opportunity that Shanta gave you another chance.
Yes.
How did that happen? How'd you get married twice to the same woman, Bishop? I know now, Bishop, I know I'm pretty good. But Bishop, how do you marry the same woman twice?
It's favor, man. It's favor. It is the favor of God.
She moved away, right? She moved away.
Yes, she moved to Houston.
And you convinced her. Did you pay her, Bishop?
You didn't
pay her.
Oh no. You start paying, you got to keep paying.
So how were you able to convince her to move back and give you?
I think, you know, you look back at what happened 15 years ago, we both was just tore up as a result. It was a perfect storm. That's what Maurice calls it. What I went through 15 years ago was a perfect storm. And I think after being away from each other for 8 years, we both, like the prodigal son, came to ourselves.
Wow.
And realized that God was not through with us.
Right.
And I still loved her. She still loved me. And God allowed us to get back together. And once again, I am so grateful for the favor of God, for the grace of God that orchestrated our lives. The Bible says a good man's steps are ordered by God. And I believe that God orchestrated this thing, you know, and for us to be back to where we are, we both have a very great spirit of appreciation for each other now. Sometimes you can take people for granted. Yeah.
You got married Did she get remarried?
She did too.
So both of y'all went
Oh Lord.
and got remarried
Oh
and end up back.
yeah. If we could turn back.
Now I've heard of people marrying the same person twice. I really have. I don't know anybody that have done that.
Yeah.
But I've heard of people.
And there's a
doing
lot of
that.
horror stories. I mean, we've talked to people like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know, but when I tell you it's good, and I'm grateful. I am so grateful. I look forward to coming home. She looks forward to coming home, and we enjoy each other.
How is she? She's good.
Yes, she's good. She's
Now,
good.
Bishop, I know that you and I have a lot. We like to dress nice. We like nice cars. We like
all that.
But Bishop, she compliments you very well, Doc.
Oh my God.
I think you did real good, Bishop.
Talk to me.
You did good, Doc. You did good. You did good, Doc. I love Shanta. She has been a B-level fan for so long.
Yes. She knows some of your people. I think she knows one of your sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She knows my sister. Shanta's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Bishop, what have we failed to talk about? We've got the 3-year. What did we miss? What did we miss? We talked about the podcast. We talked about your start. We talked about the finish. We talked about the 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
What can these people now? I'm gonna tell you guys, if y'all don't have anywhere to go this Sunday, I'm gonna summons you guys to come over to Grace United in Little Rock off of Cantrell.
Yes.
They've got 2 great pastors. They are celebrating 3 years of a marriage. What can they expect this Sunday, Bishop? What can they expect?
A lot of energy. There's going to be a lot of excitement. It's going to be a celebration. It's going to be turned up.
That's good. That is good. That is good.
And B, thank you for having me on, man. I love hanging out with you. Once again, I love being with authentic people, and one of the things I'm very glad and grateful for are the people that God draws to me, and especially the young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my young adults, if I would tell some of my young adults, those guys between 25 and 35, that they can't come back to Grace United, they'll be outside protesting.
Wow.
I mean, and they rotten. I got them all spoiled rotten. Yeah. Please don't tell Ricky Calhoun, because he tells me all the time I'm raising the new young adults different than I raised them. But I had to raise them. They were thugs.
Wow.
These young adults I got now, they ain't got no thug in them. They don't have any thug in them. They all went to private school.
Now listen, Bishop, I always end every interview by allowing the interviewee to ask me a question. Any question, no question is off limits.
Let me put on my interview.
No question is off limits. Whatever you'd like to know, whatever you'd like me to answer.
I'm going to challenge the visionary in you. Where do you see your podcast 3 years from now?
Man, let me just tell you this, Bishop. I have this podcast producer. She hates when I call her producer. Her name is Tamala McElroy, and she's probably listening. I started this because I was suffering. Mm-hmm. I had an event at my house. Then we were married, and we invited some couples to our house, and we were doing some rebuilding, some marriage stuff, asking marriage questions, and I found out that everybody was struggling to be happy.
Yes.
And so my then wife said, let's start a podcast where we can be transparent about our struggles that married people go through. And we started this podcast, and we didn't make it. So the podcast did make it. I started it by myself. I started it back up, and I was not able to really be my true self on that podcast, because when we got off that podcast, we'd be arguing over some of the stuff we said. But this podcast, I could be who I am. I don't have, my ex-wife or a girlfriend that I'm dating. I can be who I am. But the reason why I feel like we've had so much success is I've got a crew of people that really likes what they're doing. Anthony, I've got Tristan Hobbs, I've got Andrea, I've got Candy Webb, and I've got this new young girl bringing the news called Jayla with the T. We are raw, we're edgy, we're transparent, we tell the truth. people like the truth. They don't like that fake stuff, Bishop.
Right.
So if it's anything that I could say that you're going to get when you tune into this podcast is you're going to get the real.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes the real hurt.
Mhm.
Sometimes the real is offensive to some.
Yes.
So many people, and I said this to you before we started talking, so many people I would request to come on the platform when we started.
Mhm.
And they would make all excuses why they couldn't come.
Right.
Y'all a little messing. Yeah, it is
all
and
that,
this.
all that.
Now, Bishop, I got them begging to come on here.
Yes.
Because
Dr.
we've
King said if you build a better mousetrap, the world will make a beaten path to your front door.
steadfast consistency,
That's it.
honesty,
Yes.
being who I am,
Mhm.
being who they are.
Yeah.
Now we are almost a year and a half in. I'm hoping and I'm praying that God see fit that He take our podcast national. I work so hard, Bishop. We have our podcast on Sunday, and right after that Sunday, I start working on the next one. I've started this Wednesday thing, and I just believe that God, I am in what I'm supposed to be. I'm living in my purpose.
Yeah.
And when you
So-
live in your purpose,
Yes. Nothing quite like it. Yeah.
I am doing what God wants me to do. I tell everybody, all ministry is not done from the pulpit.
Oh no. No.
I'm
why,
doing.
Yeah. That's why what you're doing is so valuable. And that's why I want to know, where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Because without a vision, people perish. Write the vision, make it plain so that they can read it and run with it. And so you can celebrate setting those goals, setting those things of where you want to be, so that when you hit those things, you know you're on target.
Right. Let me read some of these comments before we get out of here. Tony said he went and got his soulmate. I absolutely love them. He's talking about Shanta and you.
Yes.
Let's see. Candy Webb is saying that's beautiful. Christina Cook is saying, my bishop, my first lady, Shanta Arnold. Let's see. Kimberly is saying, Lady Shanta has the heart of gold. Roger is saying, I need my autograph, Bishop. Marcella Town Wilson is saying, may God continue to bless you, Bishop, and strengthen you and keep doing his work. I definitely am visiting when I'm in town on your Sunday, LOL. And last but not least, Miss Carton said, yes, love this.
Thank you.
Bishop, thank you again for taking the time to come and visit with our viewers. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being very honest. Thank you for being raw. Thank you for being real. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being who you are. You were the reason, and you and no other person were the reason why I joined St. Mark, was because of you. So I know you're being humble, right? And I know you don't like to say I, and I didn't say, but a lot of the reason why, and I'm just going to say it. You don't have to say it. You can just nod your head or blink your eyes, whatever. The reason why St. Mark was as successful as they were was because a big part of that was because of Bishop Stephen Arnold. I truly believe that in my heart. I believe that with all of my might, that you were the difference. I say that. Thank you, Bishop, again for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Any last words did you want to say?
No. Thank you, B. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for just who you are. I told you earlier, the thing that I appreciate about you is that you care about people. You care about this community, and you want to see this community do better. And you keep doing what you're doing, and things will get better.
Got a couple more before I'm going to have you take us out through prayer. B-Level, looking forward to seeing your ministry go global. You're being stretched. Remain consistent. Thank you. Roger Rogers is saying he is the reason I joined Grace United. Thank you, Roger. Thank you. My mother-in-law, Carolyn Wilkerson, said, excellent witness of perseverance. You want to take us out on prayer, Bishop?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Lord, we give you praise. We give you glory. You're so awesome. You're so amazing. You're everywhere. We cannot restrain you or restrict you. And Lord, I pray your blessings upon this listening audience right now. You know every need, you know every situation, you know every struggle. And Lord, I not only pray for those who are listening, I pray for this broadcast, this podcast. I pray your choice blessings upon it. I pray, God, that you will use this as a vehicle to reach people where they are. Give them rhyme and reason for living, for life, and allow them to find the joy that only you can bring, for you are still our source and our supply. We can lift our eyes into the hills from which cometh our help, knowing that all of our help comes from you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Before we get out of here, don't forget On the Level with B-Level every Wednesday at 7:30. Next Wednesday, we are talking to prosecutor Will Jones on the Level with B-Level. Then the next following week, we have Broadway Joe. We're going to go to Alicia Johnson then. On the 22nd, we've got Princess Gupton. And then we will end the month with director Andrea Lewis on the Level with B-Level. If you want to be a guest, send an email to utbpodcastlr@gmail.com. Again, utbpodcastlr@gmail.com. Bishop, thank you again. And I will see you Sunday. Hopefully, some of you guys will join me at Grace United in Little Rock this Sunday. What are the service times again, Bishop?
9 o'clock and 10:45.
9 o'clock, 10:45 to celebrate 3 years, their 3-year anniversary, 3 years of marriage, and hopefully that you guys continue to be successful and save lives. That's what's going on.
Amen.
Thank you guys. Good night, and I will see you on Sunday.
North Side, North Little Rock.
Go ahead, Bishop. Same bad time, same bad channel, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Had another rough conversation with the voices in